DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Out of nowhere, we got our countdown and it's over. Okay, thank you. Good morning, John.
Sorry, I was.
Welcome everybody, and thank you very much for tuning in. We're here. We're here. John, you really gotta give me a little more of a countdown. I'm flustered.
3, 2, 1.
It wasn't a countdown. It was like, and here we go, Dan. 3, 2.
Yeah, done.
Sorry,
done.
It's like, okay.
But anyway, so thank you very much for joining us on this Monday night show. Shani's got 5 on it. It's been crazy. Off last week, there's been like 8,000 things that happened in just the last week. John's camera keeps like going in and out. If he's kung fu moving it tonight, it's special effects just for you.
Just for the crowd.
Exactly.
I gotta laugh when, yeah, it's funny.
Every time I talk, I'm going to shut my camera off. I'm going to turn around. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't look at the camera, nobody will know that you're completely messed up. But no, so we have a lot of things that have happened in just these last 2 weeks. And so Shani's doing her best. She pared it down. And I might just have to throw one in just because I feel like I got to contribute something besides being flustered all the time. And then after we're done with the show, we are going to jump into the hangout. And for those of you that are new to the whole idea of what happens is John will put a link in the chat room. He'll put it on Facebook. He'll put it pretty much everywhere that legally he's allowed to, maybe even tattoo across his forehead. And then what will end up happening is you get to join us and we'll do a whole Brady Bunch style. And we'll talk about that again. But anyway, thank you. Now that I got all that off my chest. Shani, how you doing?
I'm good. Before we start, I just have like a couple Shani announcements. So before we start, first of all, I just want to wish everybody who's here, because you are Jewish by association, because you all know me. So I just want to wish everybody a happy New Year. It is our Jewish New Year. So it's Rosh Hashanah. So you guys, happy and healthy New Year to everybody who is associated to me. So even though you're like, wait, New Year, it's September, but this is our Jewish New Year. So happy and healthy to everybody that's out there. To anybody that's about to get hit with a hurricane on the coastline, I'm sending prayers and thoughts your way to everybody. So please be safe. Please do the precautions you have to do, and just listen to authorities, whatever they tell you. So we're praying for you guys that are out there. And then my last one is for anyone that was affected with 9/11, I'm sending prayers and thoughts for you guys for tomorrow as well. So all of us here at DJNTV is wishing you guys a happy and healthy Jewish New Year. Everybody on the coastline that's getting hit by Flores Henderson there. We wish you guys be safe, and prayers to everybody that was affected by 9/11. So that's my little pre-show before we go. I got 5 on it.
So Shani, I got one question.
Yes.
If I'm a Chinese Jewish American, do I get 3 New Years?
You do.
Oh wait, I'm not.
Like there's, especially it's like people who are married to Jews but they celebrate Christmas. You get Christmas and Hanukkah, which is awesome. So you get like
9 nights.
Yeah, you get more gifts. Yes, but you're all Jewish by association because you guys know me. So happy and healthy New Year.
That works. I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
So now you can do your New Year's resolutions again.
Oh, wait, we got to do those too?
No, doesn't have that kind of New Year for us. No, no.
Scared for a second.
No.
Number one. Let's get into it tonight.
Okay, number one. Sorry, guys, but we're gonna kind of start sad a little bit for those that don't know who Mac Miller. He is no longer with us. Sad. Another one gone too soon. 26 years old. For those that are like, wait, I don't even know who that is. He was a platinum hip hop artist, so he might not have had all #1 hits, but he definitely had a huge following. He had a very strong streaming following. So with all his music, very strong streaming following. A lot of the youngins are definitely into all his music that did not make like the, top 100 and the top 10. For those that don't know, he had collaborations with Kendrick Lamar, Lil Wayne, Ty Dolla $ign. Definitely had huge fan base, like Chance the Rapper, who was on his very first tour with him. Kanye, Jay-Z, they all, thought very highly of him. And the sad part is he was actually supposed to start a nationwide tour at the end of October. Yeah, so October 27th, he was supposed to start a tour. So, of course, they had to cancel the tour, of course. So that's a little sad. And again, for those that really don't know, he was dating Ariana Grande for 2 years. And what that whole breakup was kind of his little downward spiral. So it's a little sad. For those that know the music, he did have the one top 10 song with Ariana Grande called The Way. So that was a song that did hit the top 10 that they collaborated together. But another one gone too soon. It's a hard life, what we do and everything. And all I have to say is, if you guys ever feeling about anything, please reach out to any of us. If you guys need someone to talk to or anything going on, we're all here for you in the DJNTV, insiders and team and everything. So please, no judgment, definitely, reach out to us and we'll try to help you any way we can. But it's sad. And he originally is from Pittsburgh. So he had huge following in Pittsburgh. Huge.
But that was that was one of the things I noticed around here. I mean, I'm 4 hours from Pittsburgh, but there was a big following because, like you said, it wasn't really making commercial radio very much. A couple of those hits kind of got some play at night and that. But school dances, it was almost like a mandatory type of thing where you had to throw something in, if not a couple songs there for a while, just because. I mean, one that age group was following him, but then I think also that Pennsylvania tie, 26 years old, parent overdose was the last I had heard. And that's just, I mean, unfortunately it seems like that's what's going to get him at that age. But it's not cool to see. No.
And like I said, it's sad. He was supposed to start a tour, his headlining tour, October 27th. So, all right. Number 2
is a little happier.
It's a little, but I mean, again, it's about another artist. It's about Aretha Franklin. So it's another artist that's no longer with us. But for those that are huge fans of hers, you might actually be interested in this. There are going to be more than 30 dresses and accessories that she wore on stage up for auction.
John, you're set.
So if you want one of those dresses, John, you can bid on it. The items will go on display between November 5th to November 9th at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York. So you can actually see all the items like in person or have somebody take pictures or whatever of the items. And then the auction will take place in person and online. So you don't have to be there to bid on it on November 10th. Now, this is kind of weird because everyone's like, oh, wow, I didn't know they were about to put all her stuff up for auction. Well, they're not. A spokesperson for the auction said that they will not disclose who is selling these items. So it's not from her personal collection, I guess I could say, because as you guys know, there wasn't a will. So all that still is in the court.
Oh, yeah. So they can't, it's not like they could do estate stuff.
Yeah, so this is from somebody else that has 30 of her personal dresses and accessories that just decided to do this auction. And the auction house is not saying who the person is. They don't want to say it publicly, who it is.
So this isn't there's no talk of charity or something like that.
It's not like an Aretha Franklin Foundation or anything. No. Okay. I don't know anything. I don't know if this person just wants money or if this person's going to give some of it to a charity. I don't know.
My guess is if they're not talking about the charity line, it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
This has happened after a couple different artists, and maybe I'm just not understanding. When I want a memento of an artist, I really don't think I'm going to keep their clothes. It just seems like that's the weird thing that keeps coming out,
Yeah, like I said, like Prince, when they were doing an auction for Prince.
Michael Jackson had it.
Yeah, the shoes. Not even like the
it's not-
shoes. What about his
like when
shoes?
it's their estate that's doing it, I kind of get it. But when it's like Joe Schmo who like stole some stuff 20 years ago, it's just weird.
Yeah, everyone should just want to collect a hair lock. That's the best way to do it.
I don't know.
By the way, on an Aretha Franklin note,
Yes.
did anybody catch the halftime for tonight's game in Monday Night Football? For those of you that are catching us like 3 days from now,
What was it?
it was Boyz II Men and Tori Kelly
Singing
an Aretha song, and it was great. It was interesting because it was like totally pre-done, and I don't know, it was kind of weird in that aspect because it's like, oh, they're going to perform, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, they kind of redid it just studio style. But no, it was cool. It had a good vibe to it, and I just thought I'd throw that out in case you didn't see it. Go catch it out. All right. So one,
Yes.
2, 3.
Number 3. So when I say the word boy, well, 2 words, Boy George, what do you guys think of when I say Boy George?
UK DJ.
He
Culture
is. For those that don't know, he's actually an incredible DJ. For those
Would
that really-
MJ even call him a DJ?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's
Okay.
I saw him DJ about 10 years ago, and I was just in awe of the music and the skills and everything. But I'm gonna go more of the culture club route right now with Boy George. So if you guys are culture club fans, you're gonna love this. They are coming out with a new album.
Okay.
They're
Wow.
finally doing it. New album, October 26th. It's called Life. And it's their first studio album since 1999.
Wow.
Yeah. They also say that it's gonna actually sound like their Color by Numbers album. And that one went quadruple platinum in 1983. I love that album.
Mhm.
That was probably one of my favorite ones.
Yes, that was good.
So yeah, so if it's gonna have a vibe like that, they might have a big hit on their hands. I don't know if they could outdo those songs though. Love those songs.
Well, you've got a lot of that older style kind of integrating itself in some of the pop hits that we have coming out. So I see it has a possibility. Interesting to hear.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what they do.
Yeah, they haven't released any other information except they just wanted to make the announcement. They're happy to say they're together and they're doing an album. And the vibe is definitely going to sound like their Color by Numbers album.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw in my other 80s
Yeah,
repertoire.
that's why I figured
of
we'll
a
do
group-
it now. Yeah.
Of a group doing a song. So by now we've talked about it, and you probably have heard on radio and stuff like that, where Weezer came out and did a cover of Toto's Africa. Well, if you haven't heard, Toto has now come back and done a cover of Weezer's Hash Pipe.
I love it.
You know, they figured, hey, if you're going to cover us, we're going to cover you. And so I got a little snippet of it. Not bad. Obviously, it's not exactly a Weezer sound. It has a Toto kind of relaxed or pulled back type of vibe to it compared to the original. Not the original's like headbanging or something, but just has that more of that subdued type of feel. But if you haven't checked it out, search for it. Trust me, you'll like it. Well, I shouldn't say you'll like it, but you'll hear it. All right. That's all I have. That's it. That's my contribution tonight.
It's good. I like how you
night.
though.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. 4. We're up to 4.
Number
I think.
4. So I know I talked about this before, and I said that I'm going to, as soon as I know what's happening, I'm going to tell you guys. And I know like a lot of the DJs out there are always talking about Serato versus virtual DJ. And I do Serato, I do virtual DJ, I do both. I do this, I do that. Well, guess what, people? I talked about it in the past, and Traktor has stepped up. So they are definitely here to play. Not that they weren't before, but they just released their Traktor Pro 3. And that is their new software. And it's a combination of the Traktor Scratch, which is their original stuff, kind of like a Serato Scratch, which you still use if you have to, but that's no longer going to be available. So the Tractor Pro 3 is Tractor Scratch, and you can also use it on any audio interface for Tractor DBS. So they're letting you be able to kind of play around with everything. Pro 3 will also have a flatter interface for a more contemporary look and a better quality audio time stretching. So they want to let you know that this is definitely professionally done. This is definitely for the professional DJs out there. And they're also letting you know that there's so many bells and whistles they're doing with Tractor Pro 3, but they're letting you know on September 25th, they will give you the long list of everything Tractor Pro 3 can do. So everyone's like, well, can it do this? Can it do this? Can it do this? And they're like, look, September 25th, we're going to just release the bullet points of everything it can do. Now, it is a paid update though. But it's only $49. So if you're big with Tractor and you want to do all the bells and whistles and everything, this is something you might want to think about, because not only did they do the Pro 3, but they came out with some new stuff as well. They came out with the Control S4 MK3, which looks really, really cool. And I'm going to tell you why it looks really cool, because we talked about this, I think, on the last show. And Tractor was like, Denon, you're going to do this? Well, guess what? We're going to do this too. And we're going to do it on a controller. So it's a 4-channel controller that features motorized platters. Yeah. So I think that's really cool for Tractor. So it's a 4-channel. This is the Control S4 MK3. And it's 4-channel controller that features motorized platters. It has 3 modes: jog mode, turntable mode, and beat grid adjust mode. So you can kind of play around with whichever one you want to do. And I find this part really, really cool. The jog wheel vibrates when you scrub past the cue points. So you don't have to look like at your computer or anything to try to kind of find that cue point if you're scratching and everything. So that's really cool for battle DJs, that you'll feel it vibrate when you hit past that cue point when you're kind of like scratching and stuff. I don't know, I don't think, I'm not comparing it to Denon, of course, but I think that's kind of like really cool that you'll kind of feel that for, if you're doing a little wiki with it. So that's really cool. And it also, let's see. Yeah, I mean, they got a whole bunch of stuff going on with that one. You guys could check that one out. They also have a smaller controller, which is the S2 MK3. That's a 2-channel controller. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the other one will have. Doesn't have the motorized platters, but it does have the updated pads and the Mixer FX controls. And if you want to compare that one, that's kind of compared to like the Pioneer, maybe like SB3. More of like a small, I want to try out Tractor. I want to try out one of the controllers, but I don't want to, go big. So that one they're kind of, saying, well, it's kind of like the SB3. So Tractor really is stepping up in their game, stepping up with their software, stepping up with their controllers. They're stepping up with a bunch of stuff. And they also came out with some other stuff that's more crazy, like their Complete 12, their Control S8, their S83, their Machine Micro, things like that. But I wanted to talk more about the controller type stuff for the DJs. So go Tractor.
About time.
Yeah.
About time. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm putting them down. So what I mean by the about time is, we kept hearing about updates for this company and updates from this one. And
they haven't, they've been really quiet.
We don't really hear Tractor too much. I think it's more of a US thing as to why we don't hear from it as much. Huge overseas. Kind of like, I wouldn't say it's the go-to, but it definitely seems like it is in some of the other countries. Yeah. So for us to kind of hear about this and to see them kind of step it up and do some cool things, and then for them to jump in and make those adjustments with the controllers, I think is great as well. And
for anybody that was at DJ Expo, for you guys that don't know this, Scribble uses Tractor.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if you guys know that, but he actually is pro Tractor. Like that's what he DJs on no matter where he goes. He is a Tractor guy. So if you're like, well, who uses Traktor? I mean, if you guys saw what he does, Scribble is a Traktor user. So it's Traktor stepping up. They really are. Good for them. Good for them. Because like we said, you don't really hear about them a lot. I do know some DJs that do use Traktor. You don't hear them as much as Serato and Virtual DJ.
Cool. And as John said, it's what do you expect for $49?
It's not mega sick. I'm just saying.
I was thirsty.
So you led me into it, is what you're saying.
I did. I set you up. It was the bump, and you went
spike.
For the spike.
Yeah, I probably swung and missed, and because I was, a half a second delayed in a delay.
And that brings us to the pinnacle of it all, the number 5.
Number 5.
I use my big words. It's that word of the day toilet paper.
Number 5. So Pioneer does it again. Another controller for you guys. If you thought you were going to figure out which one you wanted and you thought you decided on it, just wait, because Pioneer just came out with another one. It's after DJ Expo and they came out with another one. This is the DJ XDJRR. 2 R's. It is, as they call it, an affordable all-in-one record box system. So here they are again with their record box. Like I was just talking about Traktor, and now here's a record box. It's a 2-channel all-in-one standard system that can play music from record box prepared USBs. So you don't have to use a laptop. Of course, you can use a laptop with this, but this is the first controller where you actually can use USBs on the controller. But of course, it has to be a record box prepared USBs. You can't just be like, oh, this is from my Serato, or this is just music on a USB. You definitely have to prepare it record box style because it is a record box unit. It has a 7-inch touch screen display monitor like the RX2. So it definitely has that big display monitor for you guys to play around with, again, because you don't have your computer in front of you. So you have all the displays there. Twin USB sockets, which is kind of cool. It's not just one, but it's got the 2 USB sockets. And one of them is able to record your mixes. So if you just want to work off the one USB, you could put a second one in there and record your mix onto the USB.
So I had a question because I've never played around with the ones that have the twin USB.
Yeah.
So it's not, and I hope maybe other people have the same thought. So it's not where your left side plays off this stick and your right side plays off this stick. Both of them would have the ability to go to both sticks.
You can do what's called link. So what you can do with your computer too, is you can link the two sides. So they read exactly off of your computer or off of your one USB if you want. So, and there's like a button there and I'll say it exactly, the word link on it. So you'll just hit like the word link and you'll hit like a couple other buttons, and then whatever's reading on that screen will now duplicate on the other screen. So you could just put one USB in there and hit link and it'll play off the other one. Or you could just put 2 different USBs with 2 different types of music if you want, or the same music or whatever you want to do on both of them. Does that make sense?
So if you have different stuff, you can link to both of them at the same time.
Yep.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was
so
getting
at. You could do like one.
Yeah.
So like how I did it at DJ Expo for the Bose Booge, which you couldn't see because we were so high up. I linked my 2 CDJs because it was record box compatible. So I linked my computer because, as I said, I did it like DBS system and everything like that. So I linked it. So whatever was playing on my first one, you could also see on the screen of the CDJ on the second one. Now, if I played off a USB, I could just put one USB in there and on that CDJ and hit link for all of them and go through like the little things you have to hit. And then you'll see it the same, whatever's playing on the left one with that USB will go look on the screen right on the right one. But you have to hit the link button to do it. You can't just be like, put the USB in and be like, oh, how come it's not showing on my right?
Yeah.
On the right side, and you have to hit those buttons. So you can put like a blank USB in there to record your mixes while you have on the right side, and then have the left side with all your music on it. So you could be like, let me record this, which is cool. And like I said, you can use your laptop as well. And it does come with the Rekordbox license. So if you don't have Rekordbox and you're like, well, I don't have Rekordbox, the controller, just like, other controllers, come with that license on it. So you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. It should be coming out like very soon, like it says early September. So I'm assuming like in the next week or so, you probably do pre-sale and it's probably popping out in the next week or so. And I believe it is about $1,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you wanted to try Rekordbox, this definitely is a 2-channel little controller for you to, be like, oh, this is cool. And I like that this is the first one where it has the USB on it. So because I hate to say this, it looks more and more that we're getting into that whole USB thing with a lot of the companies, with Denon, with Pioneer, with Newmark, with everybody.
Yeah.
It looks like we're really getting into, I don't want to call it the festival style, but it really is, where you just pop all your music on the USB and you play it that way. But you can also hook up your laptop with this too. So you don't have to play USB.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So again, lots of options. I mean, if you can't find a controller that fits your style,
honestly,
you're not looking hard enough.
Because we've talked about so many different companies and controllers and everything. So you don't have to go the whole route of getting the Rain, getting the big Denons, getting this. I mean, Denon has controllers, Newmark has controllers, Pioneer, Tractor now, like everybody has these little controllers that fit your price range and what you want. And, if this one's too expensive for you, well, remember, it's got bells and whistles with it.
Yeah.
You don't want the bells and whistles, then you got to get the smaller controller that doesn't have all of that. So you got to figure out what you want to do. You want to try playing USB? Well, this is a perfect one for you. And that price range is not bad for a controller that can do all of that.
Sure.
I think, yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, but I guess the one caveat I was about to say, I was like, think about this. For a lot of the controllers, you have to have a laptop. Here would be your complete workaround with that. The only thing that you would probably want to keep in mind with the whole process is that you do have to have a Rekordbox prepared. So you need to prepare it on something. But
right.
in theory, you could do that on your home computer.
Rekordbox is a free download too. So you could even do it before you even get the controller.
I guess what I was getting at was you don't have the price point of a computer and a controller at the same time. If you're right, if you are worried about the costs associated with that, here you have just the controller and your USB sticks, and you could prepare your songs on your home device.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah.
So I know we had 5. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, I know we had 5, but I also know that there was a whole ton of stuff that happened. So is there anything else extra that you want to throw in?
Thank you for saying that. I do want to throw this in for you Serato users. It should be common sense, but I'm going to say it on our show too, just to put a little bug in your ear. If you are Serato and you are Mac, I just want to let you guys know, please don't update. Mac just came out with their new with their new OS, 10.114. Don't update yet, especially if you're Serato. Serato's even telling you, don't update yet. So if you've been Serato for a long time, you guys should know the rules. But just because it pops up on your computer,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Please don't do it.
About 4 people in the chat room just went, dope.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there. If that pops up, like you have a new update and you're like, oh, sweet. And you click it and you're like, oh, I have to work this weekend. And how come it's not, connecting to my controller or my CDJs or anything?
Always be smart.
Yes.
I would say pretty much my philosophy when it comes to updates. I hate seeing it like on phones or iPads. I hate seeing like the little icon that says you have an update.
Yep.
Like just drives me
I'm
up.
like, not right now.
Wall.
Update.
But when it comes to software and that, I've just learned at least wait a week. Even if they give you the okay, even when it's an update coming from the company, I always almost wait at least a week unless they say, listen, we're fixing a big thing that's gonna make you crash. Just because you never know what's going to happen or what's going to suddenly disable something. Obviously you never do it the day before an event, but even I always give them like a week to fix the bugs that they thought they fixed.
Yeah.
You never see another update
true.
that quick.
I just want to like Shane just said, I've been using Template for it since July with no, that's correct. That's the Serato. I'm talking about the new update for Mac that literally just came out today.
Yeah.
So I know Shane's like, no, I've been using this since July. That is correct. You are on the right Serato. Like that's the latest Serato update. I'm talking about the update for a Mac. Mac just came out with a new OS is what I'm saying. Not Serato. Serato you can update when Serato says we have a new update for you guys. But this is for Mac. So that's what I'm saying.
Always.
Yeah, and Arnado even put the name of it in there. I totally forgot the name of it.
Yeah,
He
I
just
can't
put
remember what
in
it
the
was.
chat.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Mojave.
Yeah, I
there
forgot like what it was.
Yeah,
he just put the name of
wasn't
it.
an
So
animal
that's what I'm
anymore.
talking about when I say don't update. Update your Serato. Yes, you can update your Serato. Don't update your Mac OS.
Good. Yeah. All right. John, do you have anything that we need to?
Well, there's a couple of things actually. This past week, it was announced that EAW was purchased by Mackey's parent company of, I think it was, Mackey, I think, bought Loud, or Loud bought, no, excuse me, it was the other way around. No, I'm mistaken. EAW is purchased by RCF's parent company. That's the thing that came out. Mackey is purchasing something. We can't talk about that. Okay. We'll go back to sorry. There's been too many things. There's a lot of acquisitions going on right now in the industry. As you guys have heard when we talked about InMusic buying Rain and bringing Denon into there's a lot of that going on in this consolidation of the gear. So RCF's parent company bought EAW and brought that in. So EAW and RCF are going to be under the same banner, or as far as under the same parent company, but they're going to be two separate companies and two separate teams and such of design. Sorry. Mackey and such, there's something else going on with that, and we'll talk about that some other day. But yeah, they sold. Mackey sold, but they've got something else going on that we'll be talking about in the future. I'm sorry, you caught me off guard there because I was too busy seeing if I was Chinese doing. The other thing is, for those who like our printable music charts, those are now open for everyone who wants to print those on a weekend. Awesome. You go to DJNTV.com/charts, and you will be able to get the weekly charts, the Billboard singles and the weekly, the recurrent to the top 50. That is brought to you by iDJ Pool, who's one of the new sponsors with our DJNTV things in our world. So yay, rah, rah. Thank you for idjpool.com for being with us. But that is available. So if you guys on Thursday afternoons, after you get the Thursday email that gives you all the links for all the shows for the week, you can go and download that week's charts and print those if you have an event for the weekend. And they're designed to be able to print in there just a little bit taller letters, so it's a little easier for us over 40-year-olds to see. I'm just saying. I mean, I've heard.
It's a little dark. Sometimes you just need that extra size.
Yeah, just a little bit helps a little bit. So there we are. I think I've got my.
Is it wrong that in my Serato I went a little bigger with my I had to move the line a little bit more this way to get.
And then I watch what Michael does. Michael's young eyes, and he's
young. Does he have this probably the smallest on his Serato?
Exactly. He's got the resolution set up as high as he could possibly do it, and he's standing back 10 feet, and he's like, oh yeah, I can see it. I'm like,
yeah, I had to do
dude,
bigger.
Where's my magnifying glass?
Letters. I was like, oh no, am I at that age now? I had to do bigger letters in my software.
So there we go. So
yeah, if anybody is trying the new tractor controller, I would love to know.
That would be very interesting on those
with the motorized platters. Yeah, if anybody,
I know
if anybody's trying that out or
Jimmy would hate
looking
them.
at the MK3, let me know. I think that's kind of cool
Yeah.
with a controller like that.
Yeah, because Jimmy wants his idea of motorized platters is they need to be as large, almost to the point of being like a 12-inch you know, an actual.
No one's gonna buy.
The weight of that alone.
That's what I'm saying. That everything is getting
in Jimmy's world.
Okay, well,
that's what Jimmy's. You know, now they're kind of small. It's like you do, but no, I think that's. Looked at it was looking at the pictures and such, and they aren't that big, but you're still going to get that tactile feel of something moving under your hand.
I mean, it's like when the SZ came out, they made the platter as big as the CDJ because they wanted people to have that feel of the CDJ, but they're not going to do the look and the feel yeah, that's not going to happen.
You want the look and the feel of vinyl? Get vinyl.
Then use vinyl, like real talk.
Use turntables.
Don't complain and bring those out. Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time that we kind of start to wrap this up, at least this portion. Again, if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, what happens next is what we call the Hangout. There's going to be links going into the YouTube chat. There's going to be links going on Facebook and just pretty much everywhere that John can put it. And then you click that. And then you kind of hang out with us. We do a Brady Bunch style. Kind of you see how the three of us are sitting. There's probably about 9, 10, 12 people. However many wants to join us, we'll have you come on in. We'll talk for a little while. Maybe something that happened this past weekend. Maybe something that we didn't get to in the Shani's Got 5 on it that you would like to bring up. Just kind of hang out and have some good funs. That's what it's all funs. That's new
funs.
Word.
Have some good funs.
We have some funs. You can't have it singular because fun is just boring. So you're gonna have funs. But anyway, so you get to join us and we'll have a good time. I guarantee it. And if you don't, it's your money back for the show.
And talking about your money back for the show, I hope you guys are all members of the Insiders.
I was just talking about our free portion.
I'm talking about making sure you guys are all members. Because if you were members, then you were able to watch the show before.
Yes, with Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Right, John?
Yep. It's good.
Big Daddy had some good stuff on bar and bat mitzvahs. I totally said it wrong.
Yeah, you're close enough.
Did I do it right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
That's right.
Okay.
You're right.
I said bat.
See?
That felt wrong.
Bot.
That's why I see I was wrong. Okay.
Bot.
So,
and then if you're old school, it's Boz, but nobody really will say that. It's more bot.
You learned about mitzvahs.
Mitzvahs. There you go. Mitzvahs.
So here's the thing. If you are interested in them and you missed the show, be an insider, and then you can get access to it. Right, John?
Yep. There access to all the videos. And I believe now we're at 20 some videos in that part of it. And then there's another 60 some videos. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. And don't forget, if you like the shirt that John is wearing, along with some of the other gear that Dan and I normally wear, but we are not wearing, like our hats and stuff like that, make sure you check out the store, the DJNTV store. And you can get some cool gear there as well.
Awesome.
Excellent.
All right. So I think we got to wrap up. Next week we're back, right? Everything's still good?
I think
yes.
Okay, I thought so. For a second, I thought
yes,
it was like,
yeah. We're good next week.
Right.
We are good. I'm in Vegas, but I should be back. I'm back unless something crazy, but no, I'll be back from Vegas.
She's going to be doing She's Got 500 from the airplane.
If I had to, you know me, my phone I'll go anywhere with that Zoom link.
But thank you very much, guys. We will see you next week. If you're not going to join us for the Hangout, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for tuning in.